Welcome to the GCNTech show. This week we have a fresh new face. This is Isaac. He's new around here and is part of GMBN crew. Welcome to the Tech Show.
Thank you very much.
So with you here, we are going to discuss if mountain bikes represent better value for money than road bikes.
Going to be lots to talk about with that. We also have a lot of hot new tech. There's pink Vittoria tyres, the return of an iconic bike. We've got a gravel group set being used in the World Tour, helping win and almost lose the Giro d'Italia. We've got brand new shoes from DMT and a water bottle made out of sugar itself.
Fantastic memory for first time on the Tech Show. Right, let's dive to it. So this week, for our main talking point, we're discussing if road bikes are a rip-off and mountain bikes are better value for money. That's quite a bold statement, I feel.
It is.
It's also a very open question because within the category of road and mountain bikes, there's lots of different subcategories, I guess. So do you want to kick us off with the different bike variations that fall under the mountain bike umbrella?
Oh, it's always changing and they're always coming up with new terms. I guess we sort of travel up the travel spectrum from sort of full cross-country bikes. We've got the new term down country bikes.
Down country? What's this?
Oh,
I've done a lot of mountain biking.
You've probably done a lot of down country. It's
without realising.
Just riding. All mountain, again, just riding. Trail, free ride, enduro, up to, 10-inch travel, 200mm downhill machines. And at the top of each of them, I think you get these pretty premium bikes. And I guess it's the same with the road now, as all these burgeoning little classifications.
Yeah, I guess all of those different bikes you've listed, I presume the difference between each one is like a small step of progression for the terrain.
And there's definitely a lot of overlap between them. And they are what they say they are. Yeah. Whether they just decide that.
Well, I've kind of made my own sort of road bike list as well.
Yeah.
I reckon under the road bike category, you've got aero bikes, lightweight bikes, all road bikes. Quite a new one, that one.
Yeah.
Slots in between like gravel and a normal road bike.
Yeah.
Then you've got gravel bikes, time trial bikes, and then you've like general fitness and commuter bikes, like flat bar road bikes, really. And similar to what you've just mentioned, within those, you've got lots of different price brackets to choose from as such. And I think certainly from most road bike brands, you can look at your traditional road bike, so a aero or a lightweight one, or a time trial bike, and easily spend upwards of £10,000 across any different brand, really.
Yeah.
Would you say that's fair on the mountain bike side of things as well?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. Definitely.
Well, I've done some research and I've got some prices already.
This guy.
Yeah.
He's the pro.
You helped out. You helped out to do the research. Don't pretend. So first place I had head on to have a look at was the Canyon website.
Yeah.
Direct to consumer, so presumably you'd think that some of their prices are going to be ever so slightly cheaper because they're not available in a shop. But the principle remains the same.
Yeah.
So if you take Canyon Air Road, top spec road bike, you're looking at prices £9,500, £9,000, depending on what group set you have on the bike. Whereas on the mountain bike side of things, what have we got?
Mountain bike side of things, it's actually, surprisingly, it's slightly lower for Canyon. It came in a couple grand cheaper. The most expensive one I could find was the Canyon Lux World Cup CFR, the SRAM one, which is called the LTD, the Limited, and that was 7.6k.
Yeah, so a little bit less, actually.
A little bit less.
Yeah.
Canyon have historically always been fairly competitive, but the difference just between those has surprised me, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Also had a look on the Orbea website. Orbea partners for on-road and off-road as well. Prices from Orbea, really, really comparable, both on-road and off-road, looking at about a £10,000 marker, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And I think we've done more research on this. You can look at so many different bike brands, and I think it's fair to say, on-road and off-road, you've got comparable prices at the top spec.
I think so.
Sometimes mountain bikes ever so slightly coming in under, but I think it's fair to say that.
I think as well, because we've been comparing road and mountain bikes from brands that do both.
Yeah.
And I think where it'd be the interesting point is the kind of boutique specific brands that maybe they just focus on mountain bikes or they just make road bikes, and they're going to be the outliers of the really expensive ones. Would be interesting to look at. Because probably typically smaller companies are addressing a more niche market. Yeah. And they haven't got that economy of scale that someone like Canyon or Orbea do.
That's true, actually. Last not last week, the week before. Getting confused, I've been on holiday.
Yeah.
I had Tom Sturdy in here, and that was one of the things he said. They're making 3D printed titanium bikes on a small scale, and he said that's where, in some ways, it pays into their favour, in other ways, it doesn't. So yeah. But on that basis of we've got comparable prices, does that mean we're getting comparable performance?
I think, the key thing is suspension, right? It's a very visible thing.
We don't have that on road bikes.
Well, only a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But brands obviously spend a lot of time and money testing and developing suspension systems and mapping all of the kinematics of that and working out how it's going to work with the aftermarket suspension products. So
there's a lot of time and effort gone into that.
Definitely. But then on the road, there's a lot of the stuff that maybe you don't see.
Yeah, I guess aero is Ollie and I always bang on about aerodynamics, right? We're always saying it's typically more important than the weight of a bike. But for all of the effort and money that brands have to put into research and development for aero, it feels like it's hard to see that you're getting that money when you're buying a bike, isn't it? Other than going, just the tubes are a slightly different shape or whatever. I feel like if you've got fancy suspension, or I feel like it's more obvious that more money has gone into a mountain bike because of all of the different stuff that's on it.
And it's funny riding, if I ride like a really aero road bike compared to a really light one, and I know the aero bike's faster, but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if I ride a really old, like an old school rim brake light bike, feels incredible.
Like you just pick it up and it's light.
And you just get out of the saddle and you know, but I know that a modern aero bike is faster.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I think that's the hard thing that is... It's hard to grasp, isn't it, the concept of that. But what about how brands are maybe viewing this in terms of where they're going to spend their time, effort and development? Because if you look on the road side of things, heavily regulated by the UCI. Here on GCNTech, we're always banging on about UCI rules. So I guess it's hard for brands to find advantages within the regulations. Whereas is that the case on mountain biking?
So it's interesting, actually, because this is something that I heard from Cervelo last World Cup we went to with GmbN Racing, and they view the mountain bike side as like much more open, with a lot bigger, easier gains to make in terms of the development they can do, because, as you say, very restricted on the road with the weight limit, with tube profile restrictions, stuff like that, that maintains that classic road bike shape.
Actually, just to cut in, is there a weight limit on a mountain bike? I've never won.
I don't think there is. Don't quote me on that, but I've never heard of it.
Someone will quote you on it.
Yeah.
Someone will in the comments.
I'll be checking.
If there's a weight limit on mountain bikes, just let us know.
Yeah, I think it would be odd.
Yeah.
I guess you have to be safe, you know. But Cervelo were able to come in with Jumbo-Visma, Milan Veda, Fem Van Empel at the World Cups, and they've done this amazing rigid shock thing.
I saw this. I have seen a picture of this online. So if we've got a picture of it, we'll show it now. But if not, explain a little bit about it.
So the idea with that is you've got two different disciplines. Well, two of the disciplines at World Cup. We've got short track and cross country Olympics. Slightly different requirements of the bike usually. Yeah. But the rules stipulate you have to use the same frame across the race weekend.
Okay.
It doesn't say you can't change your rear suspension shock for a billet of aluminium that turns your bike into a hardtail.
That's good.
Which is cool.
It's like a loophole.
Yeah. And Cervelo said that they didn't ask.
Yeah.
They read the rules and they just did it. And they'll see whether they get a blowback from the UCI.
It's like the age-old thing of it's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Exactly.
Something like that anyway. Yeah. But I guess that's an important way to look at it in terms of how much bang you get for your buck, really. And that's from how manufacturers are perhaps viewing it. Because it's like if you're trying to get fit, you do the low picking fruit first, you make good progress, and then at the top, you're getting less back for all of your effort. And I guess that's the same in terms of on the road, you're looking at small performance advantages, and they're now becoming really difficult to get. Whereas on mountain biking, it feels like the value for money is going into other components which are really helping the bike.
Yeah.
That's fair?
Yeah, it's a funny one because I think in the mountain bike it's such a complicated system with all the different components, and they all have to work together. Something I think that impacts the pricing on the mountain bike is the sort of the design process for brands where they're doing a lot of testing with their athletes and stuff, and producing a bike is an iterative thing where they have to go through a lot of different versions of it in the real world. And it may well happen, but I haven't really got the impression this happens so much on the road where they're testing, with riders and everything. They'll do it in a lab, in a wind tunnel, everything else, and then push it to market. It goes to the pro teams and everything, and then people develop their position and everything else after it's been built. So maybe
I think I could agree with that.
There's just more money in the testing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think road bike. Well, I think what you said basically, I'm in agreement with that. So on that basis of what we've discussed and the facts we've mentioned, the top end of the sport, we've mentioned the sort of more budget friendly as well, and they're fairly comparable. I'm just going to ask, what's your thoughts on this? Do you actually think mountain bikes represent better value for money than road bikes, or do you have a different answer?
I have more fun on a mountain bike, so I'll say it's always better value for money. But I don't think there's a split really. I think that there's differences between different brands and how they market themselves, and just maybe where the value is. But between the disciplines, it's really hard to say. I wouldn't think there is a difference. That's
a really good answer actually. I like that. My off-the-cuff thing was going to say it's a pretty equal split between the two disciplines. And I 100% agree with you actually that I think the variation comes from being savvy on the brand and where you choose to purchase your bike from, rather than whether you buy a mountain bike or a road bike. I think the same applies to the top end of the sport, middle and the bottom throughout really.
Yeah, and you look at an entry-level bike, whether it's a hybrid, a commuter, a road bike, mountain bike, they are all roughly around the same price, I think, and they're really good now these days for that price.
Entry-level bikes you can get from anywhere from £500 up to £1,000, road bike or mountain bike, and you're getting something pretty comparable. Well, on that basis then, I think we've shared our thoughts on it, and everyone should share their thoughts in the comment section down below. And, well, if there's any great thoughts, we'll pick them out for next week's show. Right.
It's now time for hot and spicy tech. First up was the return of the Raleigh Chopper.
Yeah, so this is an iconic bike from the 70s, right? And I'm told Bob Marley and Supergrass rode them. Not that I have any idea of that, because I was born in 1990.
And I'm you born? 94, so yeah I wasn't...
What about a couple of 90s kids here? People are going to shame on us for that. Anyway, Raleigh say they've made quite a few tweaks to the original design in order to get it up to sort of current laws and regulations around bikes. But they've tried to keep the original design ethos and the bits that made it really iconic, such as that centralised gear lever, which I think is kind of cool.
Definitely.
Limited edition, there's only going to be 2 different colours available at the moment. You've got ultraviolet and infrared. And according to the information that we've got, Raleigh say the bike's going to be available from the 20th of June online to purchase. I don't know how many limited edition numbers there's going to be, but if you want one, I guess you've got to get in quick. Sounds pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Hold your horses, GCNTech viewers. We've got a new product, hot off the press, that's just been delivered to us here at GCN Megabase. Here it is. Check this out. So it's a chain stripper and wax prep solution. The idea behind this is that it washes off all the road grime, oils and factory grease on your chain and leaves you with a surface which is prepped and ready to have wax applied to it, be that the SILCA hot wax or a drip-on wax type product. That way it makes waxing a chain a far easier and faster process than the traditional ways of using all those complicated solutions and chemicals. I think it's a good idea. Comes in a big bottle like this, and also a little wax starter kit where you get your stripper solution and the drip-on wax as well. Like it. Right, back to me in the studio.
Next up in hot tech, we've got some pink Vittoria tyres. These are Corsa Pro, launched a month or so ago, and it's available in this limited edition pink sidewalls. These were seen in the last stage of the Giro under EF, Astana and Alpecin riders.
Yeah, these look cool, don't they?
Yeah.
Straight off the cuff, what's your thoughts on coloured sidewall tyres? Yay or nay?
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I think they look good on the right bike in the right situation, such as in the Giro d'Italia.
Yeah.
It's not something that I go for.
That's fair enough.
You know,
Each their own.
I like a tan wall sometimes, or slightly different shades of that.
All right.
But let's keep it with that.
Rule you out for pink tyres then, shall we? Okay, more tech from the Giro actually. This was on the final, second to final stage.
Yeah.
We had like a time trial finished up a mountain, and I think it's fair to say, someone will prove me wrong, it's the first time we've seen any gravel components used in a Grand Tour or any pro race, I think. And Roglič used it to help him propel to victory, but also nearly cost him the race as well, didn't it, when he dropped his chain?
Yeah.
some of the details around this, basically it's from the SRAM Explore, which is their gravel group set. They've used the cassette, which is a 1044, I think, and the chainring was said to be a 40, although I haven't actually got that confirmed.
That's what
sure.
I've heard.
Someone will prove us wrong, won't they? But yeah, I think it is the first time we've seen one by group sets, certainly from gravel, used on the road. Is that right?
Certainly, gravel marketed group sets. I guess because it's relatively new terminology and phenomenon. I should with Connor and Adam Blythe working for GCN these days. We should mention the 3T bike that Aqua Blue rode in the Giro a few years ago, which did have one by. Yeah, wasn't a gravel group set. But it had that sort of ethos to it, that sort of vibe about it. And I guess the theory of the chain line and that kind of thing was something that they were thinking about at the time. Yeah, maybe that's why you just saw Roglič use it on real specific examples. Yeah. And riders at Aqua Blue had mixed feelings on using one by, didn't they? They did, famously. Yeah, that's fair enough. Next up in Hot Tech, we have some DMT custom shoes available. So DMT have, what would you call it? Like an online portal, basically, where you can go online and take a look at the KR0 shoe, which is their top spec performance one, and then customise and choose lots of different colours for the different sections. I've actually got the page loaded here. I know what I'm doing. So you just go through, choose the different colours, pick your options, and away you go. I think this is good, no? That's cool, I like that, yeah. Do you know, if Connor ever gets let loose on this shoe designer, do you know what he's going to do? He's probably going to just pick every single different colour you can for all the different options. That's what he did with his last bike that he got from Orbea. Okay. Yeah, I'll have each colour everywhere. Comes a bit of a premium though. So the custom shoes are £450, which is £90 on top of the standard colours, which I think, is going to be okay for some people. Some people might not be for them. Yeah, if you look at just the premium shoe models from all the different brands, it's within a ballpark. It's fair, isn't it? Top spec shoes are expensive. They are. Right, next up in Hot Tech, Elite have a selection of new products out actually, sort of their eco and sort of bio ranges, and they're using recycled materials, which I think is kind of cool. That is cool. They've got 2 different bottle cages, which are said to be using 65% pre-consumer recycled material. And it's actually plastics which are being left over from the textiles industry, I think I've read. Okay, so pre-consumer, does that mean it's coming from a production stage? It hasn't pushed out to the consumer and then been recycled, it's offcuts. So, offcuts of production from other industries, which I think is a good thing to do. Yeah. They've also got a new water bottle, which is called the Jet. And this is the thing at the start of the show where we said we've got a water bottle made from sugar. It's available in 3 different sizes, 550, 750 and 960. Oh, big boy water bottle, that one, isn't it? You're not going to go thirsty on your rides with that. And the water bottle is the one that's also 100% recyclable. So I think that's kind of cool, no? Definitely. I think, they're using the sugarcane, super cool. The plastics and offcuts recycling thing is something we've seen in a couple of different clothing brands recently. They've got ranges that sort of use their offcuts. That's good. I'm all for it. Yeah. Yeah. Less waste, better for the environment. I like it. It's now time for comments of the week. This is the bit of the show where we pick out comments that people have been leaving underneath our videos from last week. Now, you're obviously new here. Yes. We have a little jingle or a rap, which is either normally done by Connor or Manon. We're going to play those now.
It's time for comment of the week, where we look for someone who isn't meek on the tech show, where we like to grow and flow with the beats. You know what I mean? Tech show comment of the week.
And first thing, off the cuff, do you want to do a rap or a jingle of your own?
I don't want to put that on you viewing, to be honest.
No?
No.
To be fair,
politely, I'll give it another couple of weeks of the job and then I'll come back with the auto-tune enabled and go from there. I've refused to ever do a rap. Yeah. Manon's tried, I just went, no, I'm never doing it.
Right, so some comments underneath last week's show. We have, the first one in is from Music in Berlin. God, by the way, I'm dreadful at the usernames. It's hard when they all run in together and I pick out the word. Anyway, they said, plus points for Manon staying professional when Ollie so often mocks her wonderful Welsh accent. Well done, Manon. Basically, Manon goes here instead of here, which I think is fair enough. I didn't think she had that thick a Welsh accent, but I guess on TV, Fair. Yeah. Who knows? Philippa or Flipper Inc. says, how will they police custom carbon layups and geometries? Will they ultrasound the production bike versus the Pro to measure the layup thickness? Interesting.
That's a very good point, isn't it?
I've got absolutely no idea how they're going to police that. I guess they can't.
It's sort of one of those things the UCI do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where they say we're going to have this rule, and is it actionable? We'll see.
Find out. Okay, underneath the chain deep dive video that went out last weekend, where we had Josh Porter as a guest.
Yeah.
He's like a marginal gains expert from SILCA. Do you want to read out this first comment?
So it's from Andrew McAllister 3462. So that's that Andrew McAllister.
Yeah.
Ollie's excitement at Alex's suggestion of a second wax chain.
Yeah.
It's like he just won the lottery. Seriously though, thank you Alex, Josh, and Ollie for tackling this topic in detail.
Oh,
it's a good topic actually.
Is wax chains a thing on mountain biking?
We were talking about this the other day. I haven't seen it, and I think it should be. I think
maybe you should start
it could be a massive performance driver because you've got these dusty races and just riding where you get a lot of dirt and dust sticking to your chain. That's a massive thing for wax chains, is how clean they run. So I don't know why it's not a thing, to be honest.
Make it a thing. Start it on GMBN.
Yeah, sign me up.
Biking 360 says that Josh is one of the best guests ever on GCNTech. I like it. And then underneath the João Almeida Pro bike, we had... You're going to have to help me out on this username. What do you reckon this is?
Saul Sebayan.
Yeah, great. Do you want to read this one out? Go on.
So he's asking a question about handlebars. He says the standard team edition V4 RS comes with Colnago's CC01 integrated bar and stem. He's interested to know which NV integrated handlebar and stem the team is using.
Well, it's an interesting one actually, because Ollie sent me a message detailing this just 2 days ago. It's actually a one-piece bar stem from MV, and it's only available if you buy a custom MV road bike. You can't buy it separately.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, interesting. And Full English said, really surprised to see just how dinged and scratched up the bike is. That's just a pro race bike for you, isn't it?
Yeah, when they're on the roof of a team car, getting banged around and in the back of the truck and everything, you can see how it quickly...
It's not a work of art, is it?
No.
Right, it's now time for the bike vault, which is my favourite part of the show. It's your first ever bike vault. So what I'm going to do is allow you to have control of the bell.
Power.
So much power.
Wow.
We blow the budget on the props around here. Anyway, so we judge people's bikes to be nice or super nice. If they're super nice, you ring the bell.
Yeah.
And everyone can vote along at home on the GCN app. First up is the most super nice bike from last week, as voted by everyone in the app. Off the cuff, just straight in, nice or super nice for you, that one? Would you agree or not?
I would say nice.
All right, fair.
You know, and only because, and this is very personal opinion.
Yeah.
That it looks like some Hope maybe brake rotors and calipers.
Yeah.
And because I've grown up mountain biking for many years, it just on a road bike, I just find it a bit. It's not for me, but the rest of the bike absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, it's out there. Okay, it's out there.
It just doesn't sit right.
Mountain bikers throwing it out on the GCNTech channel. I think it's super nice anyway. I'll ring the bell. So first up this week, we have a Trek Emonda SL6 Pro from the year 2022. What do you make of this?
It's really lovely, clean looking bike.
Valves are aligned. It's in the correct gear.
It's a very good photo. For me, it looks like very stock.
Yeah.
Is the only thing, which is great.
That's cool.
Does it deserve super nice?
I think so. Well, go on. Yeah, go on.
Alex is saying super nice.
Yeah. Next one is from Ruby A666. There's a Pinarello F7 Razor Red. Interesting.
Yeah.
Slightly controversial here. Shimano group set, Campagnolo wheels.
I know, but I think they do look amazing, especially in person with the gloss of the borers, the wheels. For me, that's super nice, purely because of that. And it looks really like the sort of proportions are correct. It's not the latest Dogma, is it? But it's
it's the newest one, but it's not the top spec one.
Okay.
But you don't have to justify it. You can super nice it for no reason.
Nice. It just looks right. The hood's in the right place. It's
Ring that bell. Next one in is a Velo Build 177, which I think looks cool. They've got a wax chain, which is different colours on different sections.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Interesting. Off the cuff, I'm going to super nice it purely on the basis of they've got a large bottle of Coke.
I know, I was just looking at that. And the I think it's an SMP saddle or one of those dive nose ones.
Yeah, super nice. Super nice. I'm feeling generous.
God,
I've been on holiday
about this week.
I've been on holiday, so that's all right. Kevin _Jazz, what bike have they got?
They've got an Orbea Terra. It says it's cutting through some wonderful hills.
Why is it the wrong way round?
Yeah, I think it's a really nice looking bike, but if you're going to submit non-drive side shots, I can't have it as super nice.
Okay, that means the final bike for this week's Bike Vault is the Giant TCR ALUXXSL1.
Oh, well done! Wow,
good job there. That was seamless, wasn't it?
That's professional broadcasting.
Thanks. Come on our channel and mock me immediately.
Oh no!
What do you think of this? It's got mountain bike pedals on it. You must like it.
I like it. I've always liked the Giant. I think with the saddle, it's someone that knows what they want.
Yeah.
And they're fitted to it, and the small ratio tubes with the really deep rims is cool. I like that.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Deep boy wheels, valves are aligned, it's in the correct gear, cranks are aligned, pedals aligned. Do you think they'd do it? Was it said they were doing a duathlon? I think I read. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that makes sense then with the flat pedals. So it's a specific tool for a job, isn't it? Then so it's super nice.
Super nice. The hell out of it. Right. That's it. The GCNTech show's drawing to a close for this week. Isaac, it's been mega to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been really fun.
Sharing all your mountain bike expertise and knowledge with everybody, and me included. I hope everyone else enjoyed the show. If you did, let us know in the comment section down below. And also share your thoughts on whether mountain bikes are better value for money than road bikes. Right, we're out of here. See you later. Bye.
Ciao.